Hello there, and welcome to Errol's Blogs. Today we're going to be looking at the worst stories in Doctor Who's history. Now, of course, every single TV series has its worst episodes, but really there are some unique qualities to these episodes, even though they are considered not to be as good episodes. For instance, in the Colin Baker era, The Twin Dilemma, a lot of people would turn around and say this story was pretty dire, had some poor acting, and the Doctor in particular was very violent, trying to strangle Perry, being very unpleasant towards Perry, but this was, I suppose, deemed to be part of the post-traumatic stress that the Doctor had experienced on his body from the regeneration, and that is the whole reason why the Doctor was portrayed in that way. Then we have the sort of sergeant or lieutenant, I can't remember exactly what rank he was, who was a little bit over the top, always sort of going for his gun kind of thing, and seems to be a bit of a bumbling idiot at times. And then we have Perry's reaction at the end of the episode. It's like, okay. Okay, yeah, she's upset, but I think that was probably Nicola Bryant's worst moment in Doctor Who. I think she was a very good companion, in my view, but I didn't think very good of her performance at the end of the episode. I think the Monster is very, very good, definitely. That's sort of big slug Mestor, and Asmael is a wonderful character, who the Doctor remembers, and I think Colin Baker actually plays his scenes really well with him. The twins, yeah, they could be deemed as a little bit bland, perhaps, but they are young actors, and I think they did a fairly good job. Dennis Chinnery was lovely, as usual. Of course, he'd already been in at least several other Doctor Who stories, including Genesis of the Daleks as one of the scientists there, and then also he was in, I believe it was The Chase. I think he was the captain of the Mary Celeste, as far as I remember. What a wonderful actor, and obviously Noma and the other creatures, perhaps poorly realised, a little bit dull, but I think overall the story was not too bad. But it is one of my worst stories, I don't think there's any doubt. I'm not the kind of person who's going to say, yes, tomorrow I should pick up The Twin Dilemma, and the next week I'll pick it up again, like I might say for something like, let's say, The Invasion, perhaps. I'd probably watch that again and again, and I probably wouldn't get bored, because, you know, the cast are just sterling. Tobias Vaughan was played by Kevin Stoney, and Peter Halliday as Packer. It's just, wow, wonderful story, and the Sidemen coming out into London. But The Twin Dilemma just doesn't have that effect. You know, it just seems a bit boring. You know, Mestor and his planet and all these slugs. I mean, there's also Frontios is another one that I just can't really get myself into. It just seems really boring again. You know, I don't like the monsters at all. Is it Captain Riviere, his head in, you know, one of these sort of funny things. It kind of reminds me of something from the new series of Voyage of the Damned, with "My name is Max." But again, I think that was a really poor story. Frontios probably wouldn't watch again. Twin Dilemma probably won't watch again so soon after I've seen it. Planet of Giants, another one. I just, again, you know, probably more to do with the scenes to do with the killing of that guy. I think his name was Pharaoh, wasn't it? Traveling, I suppose, the Dominators, although watchable, just some bits were very silly. The costumes that the Dulcians had to wear, the Quarks are very cute, but the second in command Dominator is just like mad, disobeying all the time, and it does get on my nerves a little bit. I remember hearing at a convention that he was pretty, not a particularly nice man, actually, a bit bossy all over the place. So yeah, that's not too good. Pertwee's Era is very hard, because there's nothing that really stands out as extremely dull for me from Pertwee's Era. I could potentially watch. I mean, I used to think that maybe something like The Time Monster or Colony in Space perhaps were slightly dry stories, but I think, you know, I've grown to like them a bit more. I think there's a bit more to them. John Baker's definitely Creature from the Pit. the Sunmakers. I mean, stories like that, I lose interest. Creature from the Pit, I mean, that blob of a creature, I mean, it's just so ridiculously unbelievable. I mean, they may as well have put Mr. Blobby in a costume, you know, just have Mr. Blobby there, because that was all just appalling. Sylvester McCoy, I think Time of the Rani is one that a lot of people say, well, this is just an appalling story. I remember recently hearing from Kate O'Mara, who said that, you know, it was a little bit, you know, silly and daft, because at the end of the day, she was mimicking Bonnie Langford, who was there on the set. I mean, how embarrassing is that? You know, I mean, you know, literally having to take the mickey out of the person who's there. You know, at least if Bonnie wasn't there, then not a problem. You know, you could do what you want, but she was there. It's not like a comedian, they're taking the mickey out of someone who's not, you know, not there. Like, occasionally they do have in the audience. But she said, yeah, you know, she was trying to do little steps of Bonnie Langford. But she said she was happy that she was invited back, but obviously she didn't enjoy it as much as Mark of the Rani, which I agree with her. Mark of the Rani is a lot better than Time of the Rani. Great story, in fact, Mark of the Rani, with H.G. Wells in that story, I believe. Or is he? No, he's not in Time Lash. I'd be thinking of George Stevenson. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, so unfortunately not too great. The Tetraps, not a particularly effective monster, to be honest. Just looking back at the Heart and Lyra, the Sensorites again is another disappointing one. They're pretty sort of bumbling, especially the fat Sensorite. I mean, so we can name him because he's such an irritating Sensorite. You kind of want to, you know, strangle him. It's a bit like those meerkats that you watch on the TV compared to the meerkat dog, and you think, go away! I've had enough of you, Mr. Meerkat, and I've had enough of the Go Compare Man now. We don't want to know any more about them. The Crotons, I think, is okay. I mean, probably another one that I probably wouldn't want to watch too much again as well, because I find parts of that rather difficult to kind of sit through and enjoy. I think mainly through when they're in the Croton ship, and the scenes of sort of very uncolourful characters, the people living on the Crotons, the planet of the Crotons there. Yeah, that's pretty boring. All the Gons. Not very interesting at all. The Underwater Menace, I think people are starting to grow to like, because episode 2 seemed a lot more interesting than episode 3. So that's good, I'm pleased, because, I mean, a lot of stories are missing from the Trout era, and it's nice to have one that, you know, isn't too bad. And sometimes people say, oh, I don't want this one to be found because that one's not really very good, and, you know, it's things like the Space Pirates that people are like, oh god, if that gets found, you know what, I'm not even going to bother to watch it. You know, I'm like, well, every story has its unique quality. Like the Twin Dilemma, I was explaining the little bits and pieces that, you know, I enjoyed from the story, and, you know, there are bits, I think, in every story that you enjoy. Yes, with the Space Pirates, I think that one sort of drags on quite a long time. The music, I think, is a little bit on the irritating side. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, if it ever came back, I would like to see it. Maybe it might look better on screen than what you hear on audio. I think sometimes it can be a bit deceiving. But I think apart from that, I think most of the other Doctor Who stories are brilliant. I mean, we have some wonderful classics, and I'll be talking next time about the best of the Doctor Who stories over the whole of the series, and ones which I say, yes, tomorrow I pick it up, the next day I pick it up, and the day after I pick it up, because they are brilliant. But anyway, that's my blog for this evening. I hope you enjoyed it, and next time we shall look at the best Doctor Who stories. I shall see you then. Sayonara.